how have you transitioned as a person, as a human during this time?
I've taken advantage.
It's a great word.
I've taken advantage. I've been the kind of person that always loves Christmas break because everyone else is off too.
Me too. That's the only time when no one's trying to contact me.
Relax, yeah. So knowing that everyone else was in COVID too was very good for me. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to spend more time, with my family, see my parents so much more. I'm going to rekindle friendships. So like great friends that you just get out of patterns of communication with. So I really focused on Kevin Rose, founder of dig.com, for example, right? Ashton, like some friends, my college friends, the 301, the Spot crew, big shout out to Mount Ida College. So I rekindled. I got deeper into my kids, so that's been huge. I've gained, and I've learned how muscle mass is gained. I've probably gained 7 to 10 pounds of muscle. I've gotten more sleep. I have business developed at a level I've never had before using LinkedIn, because now I have a laptop and I'm doing multiple things at once because I didn't have a laptop for 5 years, did all on my phone. So double screens has made me more efficient. But most of all, let me tell you a very thoughtful thing that I think you'll enjoy because I know you now. I've taken advantage by even becoming more confident and conviction oriented around my beliefs. I believed, because I went through it with 9/11 and the economic crisis, but it had been a long time and the companies and things I was doing were so much smaller than what I'm doing now. It was in my belief that I was a wartime general, that when shit gets bad, I get better. Mm-hmm. This was a real challenge. VaynerX, my holding company, and VaynerMedia, and I have a lot of companies underneath it, fell in the middle. So we got no government support. We weren't small enough, we weren't big enough. We were in growth mode, so we didn't have a lot of profit the last 3 years. So we weren't sitting on cash. We had multiple major clients say they're not gonna pay us on time immediately the day COVID hit. I had to let go of 80 people, which is all 80 of them sit in my stomach and my heart right now, let alone a year ago. We had to innovate product and services. We did all of those wildly well, including expanding, starting companies, including investments that I made, doing extremely well, including me being wildly right about proper football and basketball and sports cards as an investment alternative alt. So I sit here a year later, happier, more fulfilled, and more successful. The end.
Beautiful. Growth, that's evolution.
I think that there are people who do well in trying circumstances. I just believe it. I believe that's why there is a term called wartime and peacetime generals. I think that's why some people have a plan until they get punched in the face, like Mike Tyson said.
Yeah.
I think I'm extremely good at getting punched in the face because I think I was punched in the face for the first 6-7 years of my life. Moving a lot, language barriers, fear of immigration, not speaking the language, getting picked on a lot, losing. It became a comfort. The dreams that get a hold of me are a little different. First of all, I think I am as grateful as one can be when it comes around profession. When I tell you my profession brings me zero anxiety ever, that is actually the truth. I just don't think money and work and business means anything, even though I am probably one of the most recognized internet entrepreneurs on the planet.
But that's why it makes you that.
No shit.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I dream a lot. As a kid, I dreamt a lot about a family reunion in Russia, and every time the plane would crash in Siberia, and every time it would be a different mix of my 12 relatives who survived with me, and then we would try to survive, and then I would always wake up. This was a very aggressive, recurring dream.
Wow.
I dream a lot about the health and well-being of I think I fear only one thing, the health and well-being of the people I love. And so I think when I think about dreams, I don't remember most dreams, like most people, but the ones that, as you were talking and I was pondering and I kind of paused and said dreams, I realized, pretty much the shit I remember is around extremely negative situations that when I wake up, I'm so fucking grateful it's not true, that no matter what the day has in store me in front, as long as it's not that, I think I got very fucking lucky. I think I grew up in a culture where my parents' and grandparents' generation died so young in Soviet Russia. People were dying in their 40s and 50s. Alcoholism, depression. I mean, it's the Soviet Union. I mean, one of the worst regimes in the history of time for humans. Suppression at scale.
Yep.
That I think I'm so affected by it that it's in my blood, in my subconscious. It's very hard for me to worry about anything but, like they say in Russia, na zdоровье, to good health. That's all I ever heard. That's all I ever knew. To good health, to good health, to good health. I never heard anybody cheers to prosperity in my entire life. Lou, I was, I to this day, and my friends know this, when we do cheers, sometimes there'll be like a big deal. I've had some big exits in my career, had some big moments, and like some of my American friends, or just not even American, like friends, like to Rezi, our big company exit, or to Gary being on Conan O'Brien, or to whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Never. I'm always like, no, to good health. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's my religion, and I think it plays out in a lot of places, and I think when it comes to dreams, I just realized it plays out there too. This is something I've got to figure out, because it's fascinating. I actually, I'm gonna self-diagnose, and I have some insight to this. I actually think that I like the process so much that I actually don't want the riches that are associated with my natural talent. That the reason I never wore a suit or got a watch or a handbag, the reason I cursed on stage every day of my life when I started my career, when everyone told me I could be one of the great speakers of all time, but I had to drop the cursing, was I wasn't willing to compromise what naturally felt happy and intuitively felt right to me for what others perceived would be short-term success.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or I've literally sabotaged myself to slow down the acceleration of my destiny because I enjoy the taste of the process so much.
Yeah.
Let there be no confusion, my friend. And entitlement is poison.
Yes. Yeah. But you see, the whole thing, this whole argument of privilege versus no privilege, but a privileged person doesn't know their privilege. That's why it's privilege. A person who isn't privileged wants to be privileged, but doesn't understand that, it's like, because I read all these comments and I have a ton of, not celebrity friends, but people who I sign who are talented people, like musicians and stuff. And you see their comments, you've always had, for example, Billie Eilish, her parents are actors and actresses. Oh, she's never struggled, but she has her own struggles.
Oh
so
my God.
She can't.
You ready for this? You ready for this? On the record.
Yeah.
I think it's much more challenging being my son than being me.
Yeah, 100%. Same for my daughter.
I would never want that path, because no matter what he accomplishes, because I can already see he's got entrepreneurial stuff, so he has to get insular. If he's unable to get insular, he'll always have that as a very big thing that hangs over his head.
Yes.
The end. Oh, I think it is so uncomfortably inappropriate to make assumptions of someone else's struggles.
Yes.
You could see a very rich white male in America and they're like, he's privileged. And I'm like, or he's deeply insecure from bad parenting and he's mentally completely unprivileged. I think the greatest privilege in the world is peace of mind, or unmind, how you put it.
Yeah, no mind.
So, no mind. So to me, one day they'll be able to show that. You can call, one day you can dig me up from my grave, test me for it, see that I was off the charts, and then you could say I was privileged, because you'll be right. Because this operating system in my dome has given me everything.